I funded over 100 loans to real estate investors, folks just like you right here in central Iowa. Some of those investors have absolutely crushed it, some not so much. So today I'm breaking down the biggest lessons so you don't have to learn the hard way about what others have. Number one, speed. Speed changes absolutely everything. Now, it starts in the front end when somebody's negotiating a deal. I'd say most of the deals that we fund here, somebody is direct to the seller or they're direct with a wholesaler. They're buying it off market. That's a large percentage. And the benefit of that is they can talk directly to a home seller and they can deliver certainty. And speed means certainty. When you can deal with the seller, you're negotiating and you can close in 10 to 15 days, that creates tremendous certainty for that seller. And that certainty typically shows up in a better price for you, the investor. Now, if you can't do that, the home's occupied, totally get it. Sometimes it's 45 days, sometimes it's 60 days. It's still a level of certainty associated with that because you can convey, hey, I can close on this day at this time, the date of the seller's choice. And it creates a little, again, of certainty, even though it may be a couple of months out. Speed when it comes to the rehab matters a lot because an empty house without a rehab taking place, that clock is running. The interest clock, the tax clock, taxes accruing every single day on that property taxes, the insurance, the utilities, the actual, just the risk of having a property that's vacant because we're subject to all sorts of things that can take place from fire to flood to tornado to getting that thing broken into, who knows? And so speed reduces that. It keeps things going. All right. Number two, past speed. The scope is the deal. Scope of work matters, and that execution of that rehab matters more than the ARV editing 3% one way or 3% the other way. The money gets made inside rehabbing that home. Doing it in a timely fashion, but really it's controlling the costs. It's getting things done, getting it executed, being able to tackle problems when they come up, because when you're doing a $30, $50, $80,000 remodel, stuff comes up. And so it's being able to successfully tackle those challenges that pop up. Number three, contractor management. This is a big deal. It's handling that contractor or contractors correctly from the get-go. It's managing their expectations. They're managing yours. So you guys are in agreement and not getting off track. Because sometimes, and again, we've seen it where contractors take advantage. I've seen it where contractors have taken more than I would ever give them down, 50, 60, 70% down on a project, and they have literally disappeared and they don't come back. And so it's digging out of that hole. Well, a lot of that has to do with what you're doing now, and I commend you for doing that. Watching videos, getting educated, talking to other people around town. What's working, what's not working, what should you do? What's contractor best practice? Some folks want 50, 60, 80% down on a contractor. Some contractors do to show up to get going. In my opinion, they don't need that. And the best ones we've dealt with, from my experience flipping hundreds of homes, is we're not going to operate that way. Come to an agreement, get referrals for contractors, and come to a payment plan that works for you so the contractor's not out ahead of you in doing what it is that they do. All right. Number four, no appraisal doesn't mean no rules. So when we underwrite things here, we don't do appraisals. I've been inside of thousands of these things, and we think we've got a pretty good grasp of what values look like. But smart borrowers use that to their advantage. They're not relying on appraisal. The best borrowers, the best investors, they have a really good pulse of the market. They know what the ARVs are just as well as I do, just as well as you should, or you do today. They got a really good sense of where the market is, what their product's going to look like when they deliver it after a remodel to the market. They got a really good pulse on that. The best investors we deal with have a really good understanding of the ARV. And the most challenging ones, or those who are challenged, really don't have a really good sense. Typically, they're not erring on the side of, the low side. They think their property is worth, I'm not talking a few percentage points. I'm talking 10 to 20 to 30% more than what the comps would reveal. We all want our property worth more than what we think it is, or more than some of the competitors out there. But at some point, when you got a slew of comparables and the range is, high to low, 3 to 5%, it's be challenging, certainly in today's market, to think that we're going to set a new high comparable for a neighborhood by 10%. Challenging to think that. All right. Number five, exit strategies. Multiple exit strategies can save profits. Doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to get to the end of your project and convert it to a rental or convert it to a sale. But it does mean that the best folks have underwritten it from the beginning to understand what their optionality is at the end. Their plan may never change, but they can go through and look at that to go, oh, okay, if this doesn't go to plan for whatever reason, the market changes, rental market rates change higher or lower. The ARV changes higher or lower. What's my option look like? What are my exit options? So it's understand that going in. So you know what your options are. Kind of plan for the worst, hope for the best. Because if you're comfortable with, hey, this is my option, these are our plans, and you're good with that, fantastic. You really know you have options when you get there under an altered scenario. So those are the five big mistakes that I've seen, and five big positive things that I've seen people handle to be able to get the absolute best outcome. So if you want to avoid these mistakes, learn from the patterns of those who have come before you, who've come before all of us, and who have found success. And when you're ready for your next deal, you want to get instantly pre-approved. Fantastic. I dropped a link below so you can do just that.